Welcome to Shastra Science for the Science Loving Mind. Shastra Science, last month in Science, January 2022. A gist of major happenings around the globe in science during January 2022. 6th January, for the first time ever, astronomers have imaged in real time the dramatic end to a red supergiant's life, watching the massive star's rapid self-destruction and final death throes before collapsing into a Type 2 supernova. Led by researchers at Northwestern University and University of California, Berkeley, the team observed the red supergiant during its last 130 days leading up to its deadly detonation. The discovery was published in the Astrophysical Journal. 10th January, in a first-of-its-kind surgery, a 57-year-old patient with a terminal heart disease received a successful transplant of a genetically modified pig heart. The historic surgery was conducted by University of Maryland School of Medicine. This organ transplant demonstrated for the first time that a genetically modified animal heart can function like a human heart without immediate rejection by the body. 11th January, researchers at University of Montreal have created a nano antenna to monitor the motions of proteins. Reported in Nature Methods, the device is a new method to monitor the structural change of proteins over time and may go a long way to helping scientists better understand natural and human designed nanotechnologies. 12th January, ESA's exoplanet mission CHEOPS has revealed that an exoplanet orbiting its host star within a day has a deformed shape more like that of a rugby ball than a spear. This is the first time that the deformation of an exoplanet has been detected, offering a new insights into the internal structure of these star-hugging planets. The planet known as WASP 103, located in the constellation of Hercules, has been deformed by the strong tidal forces between the planet and its host star WASP 103. 13th January, smart stitches track surgical wound healing. They keep an eye out for internal infections. A team of biomedical engineers has come up with a next-generation smart switcher. The breakthrough device doesn't require batteries and wirelessly receives real-time information on the status of deep surgical wounds. The innovators reported the findings in Nature Biomedical Engineering. 14th January, matter and antimatter seem to respond equally to gravity. As part of an experiment to measure the charge to mass ratios of protons and antiprotons at CERN, Geneva, Switzerland, has found that within the uncertainty of the experiment, matter and antimatter responded to gravity in the same way. The studies have shown that antimatter does not, in fact, respond to gravity in the same way as matter. The finding published in Nature actually comes from a different experiment which was examining the charge to be mass ratios of protons and antiprotons, one of the other important measurements that could determine the key factors. 15th January, grow a tomato inside a square box and you will end up with a square tomato. It's an experiment that shows clearly how confinement can influence a body's evolving shape. MIT and Yale University researchers have developed a theoretical framework to explain this mechanism. To test the theory, the scientists grew cholera bacteria inside a soft gel, observing the architecture of the expanding bacterial biofilms at single-cell resolution as they grow 10,000 times bigger. Following the theory, the biofilms adopt growth paths that optimize their shape in response to confinement and to damage in surroundings. 16th January, why do we forget? New theory proposes forgetting is actually a form of learning. The scientists outlined in the journal Nature Reviews Neuroscience suggests that changes in our ability to access specific memories are based on environmental feedback and predictability. Rather than being a bug, forgetting may be a functional feature of the brain, allowing it to interact dynamically with the environment. So in fact, The scientists believe we learn to forget some memories while retaining others that are important. 17th January, bone growth inspired microbots that can create their own bone. Inspired by the growth of bones in the skeleton, researchers at the University of Linköping in Sweden and Okayama in Japan have developed a combination of materials that can morph into various shapes before hardening. The material is initially soft but later hardens through a bone development process that uses the same materials found in the skeleton. Your gut senses the difference between real sugar and artificial sweetener. Your taste buds may or may not be able to tell the real sugar from a sugar substitute like Splenda, but there are cells in your intestine that can do and distinguish between the two sweet solutions. In a paper in Nature Neuroscience, scientists have identified the cells that make us eat sugar and that they are in the gut. Infusing sugar directly into the lower intestine or colon does not have the same effect. The sensing cells are in the upper reaches of the gut. 19th January. Could concussion be monitored through urine samples? Concussion can be frustratingly hard to diagnose and track. The injury doesn't show up on routine brain scans and there is no definitive diagnostic test. It's usually diagnosed based on symptoms. Republican maniacs in Boston Children's Division of Emergency Medicine says 40 to 60% of concussions are missed in the acute settings where more visible injuries tend to get attention. New paper in neurobiology could lead to just that. Protein biomarkers in urine that could be used to diagnose concussion and monitor. 20th January, quantum computing in silicon hits 99% accuracy. Nuclear spins are exceptionally good qubits because of their exceptional isolation from the environment. The electron itself is high quality qubit and can be placed in the fully quantum entangled state with the two nuclei. Australian researchers have proven that near error-free quantum computing is possible, paving the way to build silicon-based quantum devices compatible with current semiconductor manufacturing technology. Article appears in Nature. 21st January. Evidence for an internal ocean in small Saturn moon. A Southwest Research Institute scientist set out to prove that the tiny innermost moon of Saturn was a frozen inert satellite and instead of discovered compelling evidence that Mimas has a liquid internal ocean. In the waning days of NASA's Cassini mission, the spacecraft identified a curious liberation or oscillation in the moon's rotation, which often points to a geologically active body able to support an internal ocean. If Mimas has an ocean, it represents a new class of small stealth ocean worlds with surfaces that do not betray the oceans. 22nd January, marine explorers have discovered a pristine 3-kilometer coral reef at the depth of 30 meters off the coast of Tahiti, French Polynesia. It is one of the largest discovered at that depth, says United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, which led the mission. 24th January, men who worry more may develop heart disease and diabetes risk factors at younger ages. Middle-aged men who are anxious and worry more may be at greater biological risk for developing heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes, also called cardiometabolic disease, as they get older, according to new research published in Journal of American Heart Association. 26 January. Compound from violets may help fight glioblastoma. A circular peptide derived from violets could lead to new approaches in treating glioblastoma, a highly aggressive form of brain cancer. Researchers report that cyclotides, small circular proteins produced by violets, increase the power of TMZ, a chemotherapeutic agent in killing human glioblastoma cancer cells, as published in Journal of Natural Products. 27th January, light therapy fast tracks healing of skin damage from cancer radiation therapy. Previous research found that light therapy promotes healing by activating TGF beta 1, a protein that controls cell growth and division by stimulating various cells involved in healing. Light therapy may accelerate the healing of skin damage from radiation therapy up to 50%, according to a recent study. The researchers found that photobiomodulation lowered the severity of skin damage from radio-necrosis, reduced inflammation, improved blood flow, and helped wounds heal up to 19 days faster. The findings are published in Photonics. 28th January, Shrimply, the best composite membranes. A team of KAUST chemical engineers has designed a sustainable thin film composite membrane made from a natural non-toxic polymer derived from shrimp shell waste. Shrimp shells, plant extracts, and recycled plastic have helped researchers to build a sustainable thin film composite membrane that could replace conventional membranes whose environmental toll is greater. 29th January, device wraps around hot surface, turns wasted heat to electricity. A new flexible thermoelectric device can wrap around pipes and other hot surface and convert wasted heat into electricity. The energy systems that power our lives also produce wasted heat, like heat that radiates off hot water pipes in buildings and exhaust pipes on vehicles. A new flexible thermoelectric generator can wrap around pipes and other hot surfaces and convert wasted heat into electricity more efficiently than previously possible, according to scientists. 30th January, scientists regrow frogs' lost egg. Frogs briefly treated with a 5-drug cocktail administered by a wearable bioreactor on the stem were able to grow a functional, nearly complete limb. Regrowth of legs and arms remains the province of salamanders and superheroes, but in the study published in the journal Science Advances, scientists have brought us a step closer to the goal of regenerative medicine. Thank you. If you like my presentation, please subscribe and share.